we're out here. Hey Royals, this is Daphne Cruz from Strictly Royal Racing. We're out here at our new location. We can't wait to have our grand opening here in a few months. Today I'm going to be talking about what it's like to have a daily Procharged Mustang. Alright, so over here we have an 08 boosted by Procharger at Procharger Official. If you're on Insta, it's a high output unit for the 4.6 motor. Over here we have a 2017 Mustang. It's the stage 2 upgraded intercooler, again from Procharger and follow my GT. It averages about 17 miles per gallon here around the city. It's not too bad. I mean, it's a comfortable daily. My brother enjoys it. Jermaine Montague at I Boosted Maine on Instagram, or at Maine Montague on Instagram. I'll put those in the descriptions. And then this one right here actually does 19.7. I know it seems high. I'm gonna throw in a photo in there so y'all can look at it. I drive 60 miles a day, Monday through Friday, but almost, a couple hundred a week just in this alone. So I average pretty decent. Obviously sometimes if I'm, having a little fun in Mexico or whatever, I'm going to be spending a little bit more on gas. Now with the Procharger kit, if you get the upgraded kits, it comes with the upgraded spark plugs, it comes with the upgraded injectors. This one has the upgraded fuel pump. And it also has shorty headers. Other than that, everything else is stock drive shaft, stock clutch. This doesn't have a half shaft like ours do, S550s. So other than that, exhaust is pretty much stock. On this one, again, the upgraded injectors at 95-pound injectors, upgraded spark plugs. It still has the stock drive shaft. I know I'm crazy. Stock clutch, stock half shaft. I've got long tube headers in here. I've got the 3-inch mid rope off pipe. The 3-inch off-road mid pipe. I have an H pipe and a Roush axle backs. I'm one of the fans out there that love the mix, the H pipe with the Roush, but that's a whole different conversation. So other than that, we're pretty much stock on the other stuff that most people upgrade when they're boosted. And again, as a daily, it isn't bad. It's smooth, it's comfortable. They're both on airlifts, airbags, or bags as y'all call them. The 3P kits, we'll get into that in another video as well. Let's talk about installing. So on this 4.608 GT, it actually took about 4 to 5 hours to install. After we take off the front bumper, we ran all the piping, assembled the pulley system, and mount the intercooler, and that was pretty much it. Besides tuning, it really wasn't a difficult install at all. If you're well versed in somewhat mechanically inclined, you won't have a difficult time. Now on this one, it took a little bit, 10 to 12 hours, working 2.5 hours a day for about 4 days. Again, you're taking off the front bumper, you're running piping, you have to assemble the pulley system, the intercooler, mounting the actual centrifugal unit by Procharger. I would say for me, the most difficult aspect of this whole process was actually putting the belt into the pulley systems. It's a little tight, so that to me I found the most challenging out of everything. Everything else was pretty much cake. If you're mechanically inclined, or if you have somewhat of experience mounting these kind of things on your vehicles. So aside from the stuff you can't see, like the injectors and the spark plugs, which are all under here, you comes with the upgraded coolant reservoir that says Procharger really nicely. You have the pulley system back here. We have the centrifugal unit right here, and this Procharger actually came with a nice little plaque on it. Some do, and I guess if you find them used, sometimes they don't. But I'm not sure actually if you can get one. I would look into that. I'll throw it in the bio if I find it. Again, under here we have the stage 2 intercooler. I actually did a grow delete in order for you all to be able to see it. I just like the way it looks. Some people keep it covered, some don't. It's really just a preference. You don't have to. And again, the same thing over here. We've got the upgraded coolant reservoir, the pulley system over here with the centrifugal Procharger. On the so you can notice that the air intake is up there. On mine, it's actually hidden. Oh, it's actually hidden down here. You can't really see it unless you're in the car or when you take off the bumper, but it actually runs down here as well as the blow-off valve. It's kind of right in this area. Some things that people don't know, I didn't know this until I became Procharged, is you actually have to drain the oil and change the oil every 6,000 miles from here. So for easy access, I have my little drain right over here. I unplug it, I run it down through the bumper and unplug it, fill a water bottle with the old oil, seal it back up, run it back up, and then put in the new oil. Again, every 6,000 miles, just to keep the Procharger nice and healthy, and also so you don't void its warranty. Now, whether you decide to go Procharger or if you want to go with the turbo setup or Paxton or whatever supercharged force induction route you want to go with, you want to make sure that you start your vehicle up and you don't just take off on a cold start. Some people weren't against it. I'm just one of those people that, you know, I want to make sure my car is nice and warmed up before I do anything in Mexico or even just go to work. You know, want to make sure everything's nice and running smoothly. Listen to your car. You know, sometimes as gearheads we can hear even when our oil's going bad by the way our engine sounds, or at least I can. I'm sure most of you can as well. Another thing I want to just throw out there, I don't remember what I was gonna say. When you're boosted, I personally suggest you go to a dyno tune, and that's why I went to Tuning by James. It wasn't an email tune. They can dial in your vehicle a lot more accurate than your email tune can. But again, that's a personal preference. You know, you're up to doing whatever you feel like it. And most of us who have Mustangs, sometimes we can get a little aggressive on the road. So you just want to make sure that you're being safe with your engine that you dumped a lot of money into. Again, that's a personal preference, just some tips and advice that I just want to throw out there. Lastly, if you have any questions, just throw them in the comments. I'll try to include them as a follow-up in our next video. I'm gonna try my best to upload every Wednesday, but you know, life gets busy, so I'm not gonna, you know, don't hold me to it, but I'm gonna try my best to do so. And last thing, you know, it wouldn't be Strictly Road Racing if I don't give a shout out to the splitters. So over here we have a front winged aggressive splitter on the 17 GT. On the 08 GT, it's the wingless subtle splitter. They both have side skirts, and the GT has diffusers. We'll show that in another video, but just want to give a quick shout out to the front splitters. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out at Strictly Road Racing on Facebook and Instagram, obviously YouTube, or my personal account is at iDaphne, IDAFFNE, or at iBoostedMain. So overall, I recommend having a Prochargers daily. Some people are like, oh, you should have your own separate daily. You know, everyone's a little different. I personally don't want to be one of those people that pull up next to someone and be like, oh, dang, I wish I was in my car. And we've all been in those situations, whether we're riding with a friend or driving our spouse's car. I like just driving my car, and I like driving it all the time. I have no problem putting miles on it. So cars are made for, they're made to be driven. So I recommend having a boosted daily if you can afford it and if you have the capacity to do so. So for those of you on the fence, I say, why the hell not? Now, I already said lastly, but lastly for real, because sun's coming down, and it's kind of cold out here. We've got some upcoming events. January 11th, we have the APLA car show on Lake Olivia, which is the Avon Park Lakes Association. It's going to be on the Strictly Road Racing website. RSVP, it's only $10 to register, and it's also only $10 to get into a raffle ticket to win a 1985 Corvette. So I mean, why not? And then our next event will be on January 26th. We're going to be doing a cruise from Avon Park to West Palm Beach to honor Jessica. This is actually her car, and just honor her memory. It'll be about a year since she was taken from us, which was January 23rd, but the closest weekend date is January 26th, and it just happened to be that West Palm Beach Cars and Coffee is that same day. So come join us, come celebrate, and come, you know, let's do that memorial cruise for her. I'm sure she'll love it and look down at us from up in heaven. That's it from Strictly Road Racing. Earn your crown today.